Szukali ofiar, ale znaleźli coś znacznie bardziej złowieszczego. Pulsujący, czerwony blask prowadził ich do tajemniczego obiektu, gdzie z cieni wyłoniła się postać o nienormalnie długich nogach. Cicha i groźna, istota zniknęła i ponownie się pojawiła, chwytając coś niewidzialnego w mroku. Strach ogarnął ich. W mgnieniu oka absolutnego terroru pobiegli przez przeklęty las, przysięgając, że nigdy więcej nie wrócą. To, co zobaczyli tej nocy, wciąż nawiedza tych, którzy odważają się wierzyć w nieznane. Przygotuj się, aby odkryć prawdę za spotkaniem z humanoidem Gerena w Przeklętym Lesie w Hiszpanii. Four witnesses were hunting in a forest during the early morning hours, but ended up finding something else. During their walk in the forest, they encountered a strange figure and its supposed spaceship. It all happened on a Friday, at the end of November 1978. Four witnesses and one friend were hunting east of the Guadiamar River, located in the province of Seville, in southwestern Spain. It is reported that each of them had a 6-battery flashlight, very powerful. It was still early morning, the night was very dark, without wind, and they had good visibility along the riverbanks. The temperature was also pleasant, but the sky was very cloudy. At one point, one of these friends decided to go back to the car, so he would not have seen what happened afterward. The place where they were hunting was part of the Lepisana property, southwest of Gereny, an area with low hills near the Guadiamar River, and also with a very dense forest, mainly eucalyptus trees, which impaired the hunters' visibility to see. And further, they had been there for quite some time, using their flashlights to try to locate their prey high in the trees. It was around 3:30 in the morning when they were in a very dense part of this eucalyptus forest and crossing a stream. But at one point, they saw something unusual there. According to Manuel Gordillo, one of the witnesses of the case, this happened while they were walking. Manuel reported that while walking there, he asked his friends to wait a bit because he was spotting some red lights that could be from a car. Something very strange to be there inside that dense forest. One of the other friends commented that it was very strange for that to be happening right there, so they stopped and began to observe more carefully, deciding to turn off the flashlights to get closer. Emmanuel, who was walking a bit ahead, realized that it really shouldn't be a car. So they crossed the stream again and went towards the side where that strange light was coming from. Even though they found it suspicious, they decided to return to the hunt. Manuel Gordillo, who was walking a bit ahead of his friends, ended up getting too far away from them. So he decided to turn off his flashlight and whistled so that his friends could locate him. His friends turned on their flashlights and managed to find each other again. At that moment, one of the friends commented that that red light was staying in the same place. They decided then to get closer to it, even though they were a bit scared, and walked again in the direction of that light. Now, it was making a strange movement. The red light seemed to be trembling. Manuel and another friend decided to get a bit closer, since the trees did not allow good visibility. When they got closer, they crouched down on the ground. In a few minutes, they realized that something or someone was walking around there. As they approached, they realized that it was not a red light, but a row of multicolored lights. They also noticed that in that place, there was a landed object with a rounded appearance about 3 meters high and 4 to 5 meters wide. Near that object was a creature, a strange figure with very long legs that seemed to be walking there. In minutes, that figure advanced about 10 meters towards them and disappeared into the darkness. Shortly after, the creature reappeared and grabbed something that they could not see what it was. Manuel reports that he could see the creature well only up to the waist, since he was crouched on the ground. Because of the light behind the figure, he could not clearly distinguish what it was wearing, but it seemed to be wearing shoes or boots with a silver tone. The creature was also talking, and its voice seemed to come from the bottom of a well, but they did not understand what was being said. Then the creature began to walk towards them while they were still crouched on the ground. However, halfway through, the creature stopped and went back, and it was at that moment that everyone became extremely scared. Everyone ran out of there and lost the desire to continue hunting that night. Another witness was Francisco Lopez Ribeiro, who was closer to Manuel that night. He reported almost the same things as his friend, but with some additional details. That object was shaped like an upside-down jar, and above it, a bright red light. He also saw those rows of colored lights and observed that the humanoid creature had something on its head that resembled a motorcyclist's helmet, dark-colored, and the rest of the body seemed to be silver. Apparently, the creature was very tall, about 2 meters in height. After this sighting, they told their stories, and on January 14, 1979, researchers managed to reach the place where everything had happened with great difficulty. At the site, they found about 3 footprints, approximately 42 centimeters long. Even though some time had passed since the sighting, only the footprints were found at the location. The area where the object was sighted was quite circular, with the trees maintaining a curious geometric pattern, being more spread out. The case was also investigated by APRO, Association of Research of Reptilians and Others, in September 1979, and at no time did the witnesses contradict their stories. And for you who have come this far, don't forget to follow me on the platform, where on the profile there are other very interesting cases as well.